Hey, everybody. It's 2:00. It's a Monday, and Ricky's having a Monday. It's the
I'm going to
bullpen.
punch my computer right in the face.
I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky.
You kidding me?
Again, we're having issues with the countdown, the intro, but that's all right. I think the first half of last show you spent like on tech support, text or like typing back and forth to figure out what the problem was.
Yeah, I never got a reply back either. That was really nice.
But then you fixed it, and then now it's not fixed.
I got a plan. Hold on. I got an idea. I'm
All
going to
right.
try something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Now we're going to be able to hear this, but they can't.
We're going
Right?
to get rid of that. No, everyone can hear this.
Okay.
Let's see.
What's in preview?
Hold on. No, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Hey, did they tell Einstein, hey, man, you're flying kites. Why are you going to get electricity from that? Just don't worry about it. Okay, I got an idea. And give me something right now.
Hey!
Boom! Boom!
Powered by Riverside.
Hey, now it's officially the bullpen.
Yes!
What's up, everybody?
Yes!
I'm surprised you could type, dude. I'm sure your fingers haven't fallen off.
This building is freezing right now.
Well, I meant from like working the light show.
I've been cold since September.
Yeah, we've got to save a lot on our utility bill here for sure. Because I don't think the heat's. I'm convinced we don't have heat. We do up here. It's. I can feel it up here.
I forgot what heat was like. I think I'm going to put a fire pit at my desk tomorrow.
Little trash can fire.
It's all right. It's only going to be like -8 this Friday or something.
Yeah, it's only going to be have a wind gusts of 23 miles an hour. So,
ooh, going to be a brutally cold week. I hope we get a white Christmas. I've never lived through one.
Dude,
Have you?
I think I've had a white Christmas once, but yeah, I mean, typically I don't. It usually just turns into rain in Alabama.
I know.
So
I've never had one. I want a white Christmas. I think we got a shot. We're probably just going to get an icy Christmas, which is not fun.
No, but I mean, at least it'll be cold. If we're not going to be able to have a white Christmas, I would at least also like a cold Christmas, because we've had Christmases where it's like 55 degrees and raining. I mean,
feels weird.
This is like March 3rd. This isn't December 25th.
Doesn't feel like Christmas. It don't feel like Christmas this year.
Yeah, no joke. So be careful on weather aware. And hey, if you do plan on coming out to the Christmas light show in the Winter Wonderland, do that. We've got fire stations to keep everybody warm when you come inside. I man those when I'm here. Ricky does when he's here. When they get full, he goes and does the globe. I
spent 4.5 hours inside of an inflatable snow globe on Saturday, Tony Mack. 4.5 hours, dude.
Forgot what the world was like.
I really did. I mean, it has physical effects on you.
Mm-hmm. You text me, or I text you. I can't remember how it went, but I was just like curious how it was going. And you would think that I was texting someone a war veteran in the middle of a war. You're like, dude, I don't know. I haven't seen the sun in like 3 days. It's 9 o'clock at night, so I doubt you're going to see the sun. But yeah,
you should have seen me pop out of that globe around 10 o'clock that night. Hello, I feel like Rip Van Winkle over there waking up from an 80-year nap,
like Ace Ventura and the Rhino. Just
oh, where am I? But everybody had fun in there, and I unzipped the door, and then zipped the door back up, and then unzipped the next door, and then zipped that back up. And as a result, I'm gonna have lats like Triple H here soon. Or I'm going to have one because I'm a right arm dominant.
That's the one you did.
I'm going to look pretty sweet right here. I'm going to look pretty weird on this side. I'm working on an alien's physique. So
that's what it was. My wife had seen that they were keeping it open. Like they put on Twitter like 7:30. They knew at 7:30 that this isn't going to be done by 9 o'clock. So we're keeping it open for you guys to come in and enjoy.
I think we do it 5:30. Honestly,
which is an amazing thing that we all kept this open for everyone to make sure they got in. And I texted you immediately when I saw that. I said, hey man, this was at 9:30. I said, how late are they keeping y'all there? And you said, no clue. I've been in the snow globe for 3 hours.
I don't even know time anymore, Tony Mack. I remember when I was a younger man before I started living this snow globe life.
Oh, you guys come out and enjoy it. The light show's open again tonight, 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It'll be open. The light show's actually open until January 2nd. So you can come and drive through the lights until January 2nd. However, the inside, the Winter Wonderland that's going to have your ornament making stations, your s'mores stations, the hot chocolate, all that stuff, that is actually open. The last day for that is Christmas Eve. So Saturday is the last day you can come in after the light show. So get out here and enjoy it. And again, if it's too cold, you guys are in the light show and you're like, I don't know if I want to go in because it is cold. Come on in. We've got like 5 or 6 fire pits in here for you to come out and sit by. Some of them propane, some of them wood fire. So again, either me or Ricky or one of us will be out there.
Yo, don't rely on the fire. Okay. It's going to be like 10. Okay. Bundle up.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I would definitely wear a jacket. Don't just come in here in shorts and a t-shirt. God's got my back. The fire pits.
There might be a takeout night for the Winter Wonderland. You know, can I get a hot cocoa to go, please? I'd like to go back to the car.
Wednesday we're gonna play some of the animated shorts like Frosty and Rudolph.
That'd be cool.
Things like that. So again, come on in, hang out. You can sit by the fire and watch those. You can see the video board from just about anywhere in the stadium. So come check that out. We'll be here. We're going to talk some sports and other incredible happenings like we do every day for the next 40 minutes.
Sports
40, 50 minutes.
and other incredible happenings.
Yeah, you like
Welcome to the bullpen.
Well, one incredible happening is this video that Lucas put up to detail that we are live on YouTube. There's a popular filter going around on TikTok right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it is see what you look like as an anime character, and you tap the screen and it pauses a picture of you and it makes you into an animated character. I'll be honest with you, I thought one of us was going to be a chick.
Yeah.
When we did it. Yeah, because there have been some where guys get turned into chicks.
Do you have the first one we did? Do you have that saved?
It didn't
on
save. It
That's
didn't
a
save.
shame. We did a trial run beforehand, and I looked just like Rick Springfield. I had luscious dark hair, kind of like shoulder length. It was curly.
It gave me a globe for a head. Like it gave me an
you look
actual
weird.
globe. It removed my face. And then there was a picture. You had a picture behind you, and it turned that into a person. It was
It
weird.
looked like a ghost.
Mhm.
It looked like the ghost of Jesse's girl following Rick Springfield as he looked at a globe, as he studied some maps.
I'm not going to lie, though. The one
This version on Twitter is much better. We look way cooler.
it's sick. It's pretty sick.
You kind of look like you're like in the mafia or something.
Me, you especially, for sure. You the slick back hair.
I was wanting to look like, yeah.
You look like you're in a street gang. For
Man,
sure.
that made us look pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Cool little filter though.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I saw Gronk do it this morning, and I was like, well, we got to do that once. So
Anything Gronk does once, I'll try. Well, most things Gronk does once, I'll give it a shot.
I would love to hit a baseball, or I would love to hit a baseball with the Lombardi Trophy. That'd be awesome. He
With
did that
Bullpen.
once,
That's
didn't
right.
he? So
Good contact too.
it's Gronk. What do you expect? He's an
Good wood.
athlete. So
Speaking of football, what the heck were his New England Patriots doing at the end of that game against the Raiders?
dude,
What were they doing? Jacoby Myers threw a 40-yard Hail Mary backwards to a defensive end and lost the game.
in a tie game too. That's the part that drives me nuts.
Put his quarterback out there to be the final man on defense. Like, I got it.
Mac Jones got.
Meanwhile, it's Chandler Jones, one of the greatest sack artists this league's ever seen.
I wanna ask Mac Jones who he knows is going to win the national championship in about a month because he got stiff armed into 2023.
Mm.
Chandler Jones put him into the future with that move. And here's my big question. Not only is that a professional football team that's an annual playoff team, right? They're usually in the playoffs. It's coached by the greatest football coach of all time in the NFL, and that's Bill Belichick. That is a tie football game with no time left.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to keep lateraling it backwards and not go to overtime? Did you not feel like you could beat the checks notes Las Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, the under 500 Raiders. So many things not making sense for a Bill Belichick coach team. And another mark on the offensive coordinator situation they got in New England, which is a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays with the help of a special teams coach. Craziness. And then you saw how dysfunctional it was with the end of this game. Like you said, number one, they're tied. 99% of the time is a team taking a knee right there.
Yes, go
They're
to
taking
overtime.
a knee, they're going to overtime. It's like you have to get 80 yards to get a touchdown. There's not enough time to get in field goal range. Touchdown's the only way to win. You ran a run play after doing it. So it's like you ran a safe play, but then it clearly wasn't a safe play because everyone was prepared for lateraling, or maybe they weren't. It looked like they weren't. Hopefully that was supposed to be a safe play that a couple players went nuts on. If not, the coaching staff should all be fired today. Plus, Ramondre Stevenson gets like 40 yards. He gets a huge chunk. They just give it to him. He finds the ball to Jacoby Myers, and the first thing he thinks is, I'm going to run 5 yards backwards, throw a whirly bird 40 yards backwards, right to a defensive end who only has to beat Mac Jones. Oh, Belly, the picture of him with
the cigar.
That's the most athletic shot they have of him is him and his pot belly. And you're going to ask him to tackle Chandler Jones, who is a grown man. And that went about as well as you could imagine. He got stiff-armed into the future. And the Raiders took a W. The Patriots said, hello, here you go. Would you like this?
If I were reading you plays, like from a script that said, hey, Chandler Jones is going to get a ball, and the only person he has to beat is Mac Jones, you would, and I said, how do you think that's going to end up? Like, how do you think that play ends? You're going to say it ends just like that.
I would say, is Mac Jones okay?
Is he?
Like, did he make it?
Is he going to play next week?
Yeah, there'd be no doubt Chandler Jones would win that battle. I would just be curious as to how injured or how destroyed Mac Jones's playing future will be as a result.
And it was so aggressive, too. The stiff arm was so aggressive. It grabs his head and just all the force that Chandler Jones has went into the head of Mac Jones.
It was tied. It was tied.
That's I can't get over that. Like a friend of mine sent me that in a group and was like, watch this now. And I clicked it and I was like, all right, ooh, Ramondre 40-something yards. Why is he laddering the ball? And then I saw the flip back to Chandler Jones, and I was thinking the Patriots must be down a touchdown here, and this is their last-ditch effort. It was a tie football game. That makes no sense to me why they would do that. And then Chandler Jones completely abuses Mac Jones. I'm surprised he didn't get fined for that. I'm surprised that's not roughing the passer. How is that not roughing the passer in today's NFL? Ramondre gets down to the 30-yard line.
Oh my god! And he gets cleared out. He gets knocked flat on his butt after making the throw. So he gets decleated, throws the ball to the other team, and loses the game all in about 3 seconds.
Who was that was chasing? The offensive lineman was like 65?
There was some like third-string tight end out there. Really, he's like, all right, don't worry about it. We just threw the ball backwards, gave him a free alley to win the game. Don't worry about it. I got this.
He's got 3 Raiders in front of him, and while he's running, he's sitting there cussing the whole time.
The more I watch this play, the less I can believe
it makes me so angry.
What are you doing? Why would he do that?
Oh,
why would he do that?
And then here comes 85. He's moving.
Hunter
he's putting
Henry,
in the effort.
Man,
was that Hunter Henry?
I think he's 85 for them. Yeah.
He was giving all the effort for it too, man.
Well, Hunter Henry was the guy for Arkansas on that crazy lateral play against Ole Miss. Remember that 4th and whatever?
4th and 25.
I guess maybe you have Hunter Henry on the field for some laterals. You think we're all right. Hunter did it, but they were down. And they needed a 4th. They had to convert. You had to take the risk. Patriots.
But here's the thing.
Man.
Here's the thing. They were tied. They were tied.
Their offensive play caller is a defensive coach.
He called a heck of a defensive play. It worked out great for the defense.
You know how, Nick Saban loses 2 games in a season and everyone's like, dynasty's over. Mm-hmm. He's washed up. Bill Belichick literally has a defensive coordinator as his offensive coordinator, calling plays in a tie game that make no sense and forcing the receiver to throw the ball 25 yards backwards. How is there not more of a discussion like, what is Bill Belichick doing? What are any of them doing?
Whatever
Mac
he
Jones
wants is the question.
Oh my gosh, we got Tom Brady 2.0 to people like, we're going to put in Bailey Zappi yet? Like, they did the reverse Trevor Lawrence.
And they got Bailey Zappi for a few games, and they were like, all right, Mac Jones is he good?
Trevor Lawrence, his head football coach's rookie year, was using that job as an excuse to live out spring break every day. And he had a horrible rookie year. He gets Doug Peterson in there. The team's competitive. They're beating good teams. Trevor's having a great year. Total flip-flop for the Pats. Mac Jones looks amazing. The Patriots are dangerous in the middle part of the year, maybe the best team in the NFL, middle of last season. You get to this year, offense is abysmal. They're doing stuff like that. You don't even know who you're – I don't even like watching the Patriots. It's boring.
Came back and beat the Cowboys. The
You got that
Jags did,
video
right?
of Mac that one time yelling, going like, "Why are we passing? The run game stink!" Like he's yelling at his own quarter. What a 180 from New England.
The answer to that question, by the way, that Mac was asking, and Matt Patricia's answer is, "I don't know what I'm doing."
This isn't my. I played Division III football for like a year.
I coach defense.
No one talks about him being a Rhodes Scholar or whatever they used to. Remember, like, Matt Patricia's a rocket scientist. He's got a pencil behind his ear. Isn't that quirky? He must be drawing up plays, right? That's gone. That is all gone.
So you had that go down yesterday in the NFL. Were there anything else exciting in the NFL? I mean, a couple of
Oh my God,
good late games.
Matt Patricia's their Bill O'Brien.
Oh,
Saban
boy.
and Belichick are simpatico. They both got offense coordinators that are guys that they know and that stink. And it's costing the guys.
I think Nick Saban would take Bill O'Brien as the OC right now in a heartbeat.
In a world littered with young offensive coordinators getting coaching jobs, how did the New England Patriots end up with a fired defensive head coach?
Because
how did Alabama end up with Bill O'Brien?
Because Bill Belichick's doing whatever he wants right now. That's exactly why. Let's see what else happened this weekend. Oh yeah, yesterday. I don't know how. So for me locally, I went from the greatest soccer match I've ever seen right into Falcons Saints. So that was the next game on TV on Fox at my house.
Play the Price is Right sound effect when you lose the cliffhanger game. Ba-bum, ba-bum,
oh.
And now to Falcons Saints.
It was awful. It turned out to be a competitive game. It came down to the end there, but it wasn't best on best like we saw in the World Cup, which, by the way, the World Cup final yesterday, and I would love to see the ratings on that. The World Cup final is going to get more draw in America than any other soccer match will, right? And people in America always, anytime the World Cup comes around or the U.S. get beat, they say that, well, we don't care about soccer, we don't play our best athletes, whatever. It's always a hot topic issue. When is that sport going to become super relevant in America? Well, if the World Cup did anything at all, the final match yesterday, it was help that cause here, because I don't know how you could watch that match and walk away not excited about the sport, even for just a little bit. Like, it may not change your mind forever, but that just initial reaction afterwards, it was amazing. I watched the first half, all of it, at home because we were sitting home getting ready to take Oliver to meet Santa Claus, and it was all Argentina. And I had vested interest because I wanted to see Messi win one on his way out. A great storyline. And then we're leaving where Santa Claus is, and my phone's blowing up. And I look down, and it's 2-2 in the 86th minute. Kylian Mbappe. You've got, not only do you have the final two teams left that were the two favorites, you have the two best players in the world absolutely not only playing in the match, but showing out big time. It was a huge win for the World Cup.
If you're that guy who, when people ask you about soccer, goes, soccer's boring, I don't watch that, I dare you to watch the World Cup final and say the exact same thing afterwards. That was the best soccer game I've ever seen in my life. It's probably the best World Cup final ever. It was star power. The two goals by Mbappe in the 80th and 81st minute to tie it up and send it into extra time, insane. Then you get Messi gets another goal to take the lead, and you think, oh my goodness, this is his moment. Then France gets on the board again and ties it up.
Mbappe had a hat trick in that game.
We go to penalty kicks. That was great. I mean, I watched the game with my fiance, who hates soccer. Hates it. Anytime I put it on, she immediately goes, oh.
I did the same thing. My wife hates soccer. And right before penalty kicks, my wife became the biggest Lionel Messi and Argentina fan you'll ever meet. Like, she had been watching soccer his entire life.
She started watching with me in about the 75th minute, right when it started getting good again. And by the end of that game, she goes, that was awesome. Like, that was so good. Mm-hmm. And this is a woman who a week ago thought it was the most boring sport in the game, watched that and thought, I could get into that, which I don't get it. I mean, you get 2 hours in a regular game, no commercials in the middle, too. You get 45 minutes straight. Like, it's a good watch.
It's amazing.
But man, it was really special on Sunday.
It obviously gets better when you get to matches where someone has to win. Obviously, there's that dredge in soccer, even in the World Cup, where you don't have to win a match.
Yeah.
And you can get draws. There are friendlies that aren't necessarily, an incentive to win, right? So you get those things that happen, and it's not as fun. But when you get to the World Cup final and someone has to win, and then you get a match like that, it was amazing. And remember, and I'm going to get to that question, by the way, that's on the YouTube. That's a wonderful
Max.
question.
See your comment here, or we'll get to it
for sure.
Very important stuff.
The most important thing about that World Cup final is I want to go back to when you brushed off something I tried to show you and Lucas on the podcast. I wanted to feel included because I don't watch soccer a bunch, but my friend made, I joined his group on the FIFA app, and we played. I had a FIFA
you talking
team.
about that fantasy lineup you showed at the beginning of the tournament?
Mm-hmm. And you brushed off. So I tried to get you to assess my team to see if it was a good team, and you didn't even look at it. And we're like, that's garbage. Get it away from me. Yeah. I won by a lot because my captain was Lionel Messi.
Wow.
And my the guy right next to him was Kylian Mbappe. I had both of those guys.
You really went out on a limb with that one. Man.
Right. But so my whole thing was when we played it, the buddy of mine who made me join it, he's a big soccer guy. He did the same thing in fantasy football a couple of years ago. He played fantasy football for the first time, and he won the whole league. So I told him, I said, I'm going to join your FIFA thing, and I'm going to completely beginner's luck this thing, and I'm going to win it because I'm just going to go off the popular guys that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And in this particular, it was like you get $100 million salary cap, and you have to buy the players. So I went and bought Mbappe first, Messi, and Pulisic for America. And then I just started buying the most expensive player I could buy at every position. And then I went goalkeeper. I think I went goalkeeper first, actually. And then ended up winning the whole thing.
I think we can all learn a lesson in fantasy sports because I know sometimes I psych myself out, and I did this weekend.
I did too.
I did not play Justin Fields in place of Justin Herbert, and it cost me about 20 points.
I can't blame you, man.
And why did I do that? Because I'm such a smart guy, right? The Tennessee Titans, they got a low-ranked pass defense. Herbert's going to throw all over them. I'm so smart. Justin Fields playing the Eagles, good defense. Nothing's going to happen there. He separated his shoulder a couple weeks ago, then just ignored it and started playing anyways, even though some guys would probably be out for a year. No, I'm a smart guy. I'm going to play Herbert. Now I'm over here on life support with Monday Night Football, seeing if I'm going to make it in the playoffs anymore. Meanwhile, guy with no idea what's going on, I'm just going to take the logical decision at each one. W.
The guy that took Patrick Mahomes in the second round of the draft, or took Travis Kelce with his first pick in the first round, winning the whole thing.
Do you see this? This is where your brain lives.
Right.
It's completely useless for fantasy sports. Anything oh my gosh, did you know that the Ravens get more chunk yards on first down than any other team? Doesn't matter. It's garbage. Get it out of here. Do what you did.
That's right.
Get a complete nobody. That story I told you about my girlfriend when we were watching preseason football. She goes, "Oh, Dortch. You should draft that Dortch guy I saw week 2 in the preseason." I'm like, not going to draft Dortch. The guy was the leading receiver for the Arizona Cardinals through 6 weeks.
That's right.
Get a complete dunce, bring him in, and they're going to win you a league because you're dumber.
Dude, they're actually doing injury reports on Greg Dortch. That's how important he's become this year. Like,
he's had like 60 receptions.
It's a notable thing when he's not playing. Like, hey, I don't know if Dortch is going to play this week because he's a little banged up. If I had ever said that to you before, number one, who the hell?
Excuse me?
Who's Greg Dortch? Mm-hmm. And you'd tell me to shut up, stop making up names. That's a notable thing.
So I did to her. I said, "Honey, you don't know anything about this. Let the boys handle it." Leading receiver in the NFL through 6 weeks, Greg Dortch.
So now let's go over to the YouTube here. A great question. If you want to weigh in, text into the show 256-434-1366. That's 256-434-1366. That is our bullpen text line. You can also tweet at us at Tony Trash Panda. It's my new handle, at Tony Trash Panda, or at Tricky Ricky RCTP, are our Twitter handles that you can reach out to us at. Max Cruz over here on the YouTube.
Cool name, Max. I like your name. I'm going to use that as an alias when people ask me my name. I like that. Name's Cruz. Max Cruz.
Says, should you eat mac and cheese with a spoon or a fork? You will be eternally judged based on your answer. Do you eat mac and cheese with a spoon or a fork?
Neither. I use these hands.
No, you don't. Stop.
Tackle it, baby. I got up in there. Ow.
No, you don't.
Fork.
Yeah, it's a fork, right?
It's a fork.
Who eats mac and cheese with a spoon?
Fork, you got to get in there sometimes.
Yeah, you
You
gotta.
got to prod in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm spooning them over here. I'm asking the food to cooperate with me with a spoon.
I
With a
will
fork,
like
I initiate contact.
sometimes I will.
We
like,
must protect this house. I don't know. That made me think of those old Under Armour commercials.
instead of stabbing the mac and cheese, sometimes I will use a fork kind of as a spoon. But
That's crazy.
I mean, it's still always go for a fork. Always go for a fork.
If you eat anything with a spork, what are you doing?
Spork's best of both worlds.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's the worst of both worlds. You have a terrible fork because it's like
It's not the best fork.
you just get a little bit of thing, and then you got a spoon with less, and then now you're eating a jagged object. That ain't fun.
It's a fork. Fork's a jagged too.
No, sporks are out of tooth. Sporks have teeth. Forks have prods. Teeth, prod. Teeth, prod. Teeth hurts. Teeth is aggressive. Prod works with you. Spikes, they're going in.
All right. Okay. I don't.
You ever seen people buy silverware sporks? No. They get spoons. They get forks.
That's okay. That's fair.
Mhm.
I don't. I've
Hey,
never
baby, could
gone
you
out
get
of my way to
Could you
buy
get the
a
fine sporks? We're having company. Not a thing.
Even if I'm buying like plasticware for like a football party or something, I've never bought sporks on purpose anyway.
Nah. It's the poor man's utensil.
Is there anything? Now we're on this subject. Is there anything that you should eat with a fork or you should eat with a spoon that you eat with the opposite? Like you're not over there eating Lucky Charms with a fork, are you?
No, that's insanity. They'll lock you up, throw you in a padded room for that stuff. You can't do that. Yeah, you start using forks for cereals or soups, like you're be done. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like using utensils a lot. I'm gonna go up in there with the paws if I got to. Yeah,
Remind me to never invite you to dinner at my house. ever.
like no, I do just kind of sound barbaric now, right? I was trying to spin it.
You know, I do. There are some things I eat a little unorthodox. I'll be honest. Maybe not eat like something with a fork that I should use a spoon for, but when my wife and I will, if I grill like steak or chicken or something, sometimes, my wife will always pork chops, anything like that. My wife will always have a fork and a knife, right? If it's just me and her at the house, I take my fork, stab it, eat it. I'm
That's
not
what
cutting
saying,
it off.
You know,
Yeah, I just
eat all that
pick the whole thing up with the fork and chew it.
just go at it.
That's how I eat my steak.
I think it's worse though that you put the fork and then eat around. I think it'd almost be better just like grabbing it and just eating it.
Oh, but then you're getting all the blood and sauce on your hands and everything.
Yeah, but now you just got a drippy umbrella of meat that you're
Well, you
going.
just take it, you take a bite, put it back down.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just holding it.
No.
down.
I'm not
Working
at a
that thing
carnival.
Yeah,
you gotta
that ain't a
steak
shish
on a
kebab,
fork.
dude. That's just a pork chop on a fork.
You got any steak on a fork over there?
I thought you were walking about the room with your, with your portable entree.
No, we'll
right.
sit down to eat. She'll have her fork and her knife and cut it up. I will just bend down, I'll stab it, pick it up, take a bite, put it back down.
I think that's even worse. That's just crazy. It's like, dude, just cut you a piece now. Like, if you're gonna just jab and take a bite off of this meat round that you have on your plate, you'd almost be better just walking about the house and being like, yeah, no, I just thought I'd take a pork chop to go. Then people be like, oh, I can respect that. That's cool. You go to a dinner table and the guys just go, yank, and gnawing around on the gristle. You're going, hey, why isn't that guy using a fork, man?
Well, I do use a fork.
Where's your purse? Did you leave it out? Because if he goes by it, he might steal some.
I do use a fork. I just pick the whole thing up. I don't use a knife.
I don't know. I feel like you're sporking yourself here. You're getting the worst of both worlds. Eat it with a fork or take it on the go. Eat that sucker in the hallway.
I just saving time instead of
TV.
having to cut it up and eat a piece and cut it up again. And just stab it, pick it up, take a bite, put it back down.
It's the same reason why you just don't eat it with your hands, because you look like a caveman. You know, you gotta.
I do eat some foods with my
compromise
hand that I'm not supposed to. I do that as well.
Virgil Brooks says, "Do you fold your pizza slices?"
No.
Never.
No, I mean,
Ooh.
not really.
Well, you should get you a big floppy slice of New York pizza. You know, it's like you got to fold. Or are you just like, or are you this guy?
The first, like the.
Or do you stick a fork in the middle and just pop it up and take a bite?
The floppiest part's like the end, right? So you usually pick it up and one hand, eat the end of it off first,
as
and then
as it's drooping and spraying grease down the edge.
Yeah,
Is that
'cause
what
it
you- and you
usually
just put
does
your
it-
mouth to it.
usually it does that for one bite. Lift it up, bite it, put it down. I'm good to go.
That's crazy. Have you ever just thought about folding it a little bit?
I've folded it before. It's just not like my go-to thing. Every now and then I will. If it's like too floppy,
Fold
I'll
it.
fold it.
It's like you're eating 2 slices of pizza.
No, it's not. I mean, it's
Little
still
bit.
the same slice of pizza.
A little bit, kind of.
You probably eat more in one bite than maybe, but yeah, I'll fold it every now and then. But
I fold Chicago style pizza. It's a nightmare.
Why
Yeah.
would you even try
Just
to do it?
because, just to show the pizza who's boss. You know, I don't let pizza dictate how I eat it. You know, I set the rules.
Okay, good for you.
I'm not gonna let Papa John tell me how to eat my pizza.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
normal people like me, when we bring in a box of pizza,
I'm
into
not
the
gonna let
house,
Big Pizza boss me around like they have in my entire life.
I usually bring it in, set it on the counter, and go, "Hey, honey, the pizza's here."
Yeah.
Ricky gets home and like turns on one of those interrogation lights. You listen here, all right? I run this show.
Look, your pizza. You had a good run, okay? You're melty, you're delicious, but you're in the Thunderdome now.
Welcome.
Let
to
me
the
fold you
show.
up, Chicago style deep dish. That'd be a mess.
Welcome to the show. Ugh. So, do you have any other weird eating habits at all? Because I do. There's one that I always get. Whether it was growing up, my wife will chirp at me for it too.
When I was a kid, I'd put sunflower seeds on pizza.
Like,
Not the ones with the shell.
okay, so you.
Out of the shell.
I was like, that just.
I'd eat all the shells. My favorite topping was shells. Yeah, no, they would be they'd be out of the shell. Man.
I can't eat. I don't have the patience for sunflower seeds, dude.
Nah.
Like, I can't sit there and try to open them individually in my mouth. I'll usually just like suck the salt of them off of them, like bite a chunk of them, and then spit them out.
You're a caveman.
I don't. That's why I
You're
don't eat
just
some.
spitting up wet husks.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I don't eat sunflowers. I haven't
Looks
eaten
like-
the sunflower
Looks
seeds.
like a paper mill.
Yeah. I'll put like some of them in my mouth, and I will get tired of trying to open them individually. So I'll just eventually bite the big wad of them I have in my cheek and spit it out.
Does that not hurt? Are there just not numerous shell shards jabbing you in the gums and the cheek?
I mean, maybe it did. I haven't had a sunflower seed probably since I was in high school. So
Wow. You're like 12 years sober.
you know,
job.
it's I appreciate it.
Every day's a battle. Keep going, man. Keep going.
They
No,
don't-
I would put.
They don't give
sunflower
you a
seeds on
chip
pi-
every year. They
You
give
should
you a
try
shell.
that though, without the shell, so you don't have to worry about all that. You can just eat it.
Mm.
But you sprinkle a little bit on a sliced pepperoni, dude.
That doesn't sound terrible.
Pretty solid.
My weird eating habit is I will eat one thing at a time on my plate.
I'm the complete opposite.
And I don't ever do it like on purpose. It's not like I want to eat this first and then I want to eat this and then there's no game plan. I just whatever my fork goes into first, I eat it, tastes good, I eat it till it's gone, and then I move on to the next
You don't
thing.
even pick the food you eat first. You just.
Well, I
I
mean,
guess it's potato.
well, if I'm making if I'm the one cooking, which I normally do cook, I'll make my wife and I a plate, and I'll take some forks and just slide it onto the plate, walk it into the table, and then when I pick it up, whatever it's touching, I'm like, oh, that's what I'm eating. Now I'll eat it, and then if it's really good, I just eat it till it's gone. Then I move on to the next thing, take a bite. It's really good, so I eat it till it's gone. I mean, I want to eat what's good. It's good. So
Does that give you the freedom to eat whatever you want? You don't even have to pair your meals. Like you could have a pork chop with a side of ice cream.
I've never thought of it like that, but no.
And candied yams on the side. You could have anything because
Yeah.
it's like you're just having 3 different tiny meals.
I don't do that, but I should probably. It would.
I'm like a scientist. The entire time I'm eating, I'm gauging how much of this thing I have and how much of the side and this side right here, and then also what beverage I have, and I eat them all to where I finish every single thing I have at the same time.
So you have like, if you're having like steak, potatoes, and peas or something,
Yeah.
then your last bite of steak is also you. Then you only have one bite of potatoes and peas left.
Bingo. I'm good at it, dude.
Oh, it's not
good.
me. Dude,
I'll perfectly portion it every time.
I'll get done
it's
eating
beautiful.
mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and still have like a full hamburger.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
It's just how I don't ever do it on
I get it.
purpose, but
Yeah.
my family has made fun of me for that my entire life, and now my wife makes fun of me for that too. So I consciously try to like mix it up now and eat different things.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Especially go to like a nice restaurant or something. Like
Mhm.
everything is like paired with something else for a reason because the flavors bring out other stuff. You got a whole nother flavor world out there you haven't even seen yet.
I do mix some food up sometimes though, like
Yeah.
potatoes and peas.
Wait,
Those
now
are
you're
really
just
good.
eating like a toddler. You just put them together on the plate.
You don't like mix your mashed potatoes and peas up together?
I'm not at the cafeteria in 6th grade and I got some leftover potatoes and I pour my milk in there and then throw it like we got 10 minutes left of lunch and we got
Well, what's the
nothing to do.
point of like scooping peas and mashed potatoes if like you could just mix it?
I mean,
it's easy to mix them up.
If they end up together, if I, take a bite of some mashed potatoes and there's a pea in there, cool. But I'm not making a tornado of potatoes mixed in with peas on my plate and creating a that's
what
like
I
a protein
normally-
shake. You
what
might
I
as well
normally-
just put everything in a blender and drink it.
What I normally do is I'll take my spoon or fork or whatever, and I'll just take like a spoonful of them,
Mhm.
dump them on top of the potatoes, and then go in.
Mm. Man. Okay.
I'm used to getting made fun
Yeah.
of for my eating habits anyway, so it's fine. It's fine.
It's all going to the same place. That's what my grandpa used to say. He said, "Hey, who cares, man? It's all going to the same place."
I don't like. I believe it or not, don't say that. I probably
You
should.
should. That should be
but
your move.
It feels like a dad thing to do.
No,
does feel like
it
a-
ends the conversation like, dude, what are you doing over there? What is up with your feet? Hey, it's all going to the same place.
Am I
Because then a
right?
person's going to go, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, that's a little gross, but yeah.
Not the way I do it. But yeah, I guess you're right.
So, all right, just
Sound like-
curious. That was a good question, Max and Virgil. I like those questions. That was good.
Virgil Brooks and Max Cruz. Are those even real people?
Yeah, dude.
Are
So
those real
Virgil,
names?
actually, Virgil tagged me in something on Twitter today. Virgil comes to a lot of our Trash Panda games.
Those
He's
are
a
great names. They're almost too good. That's why I'm like, these can't be.
Well, he's a big ambassador for the Trash Pandas, and right now there's this Twitter thread going around voting for the ambassador of the year, and Virgil is one of the 4 that you can vote for right now. I retweeted the thread, and underneath it is the poll. Go vote.
Oh, I know
my
who
friend
we're
Virgil.
talking about. The
Yeah.
YouTube names have been screwing me up so bad with people that regularly like listen to this show. Yeah, of course. Okay.
So go vote for my man Virgil, dude. He's a big ambassador for the Trash Pandas. So thank you for weighing in on the podcast.
Good luck to you, dude. I hope the pizza question helps your campaign. I don't know how it would, but in case you get asked that at a debate. They have debates for that?
I doubt it.
How does that work? They should.
Oh, yeah, they should. You should
We
have.
should
You should
moderate
be able to campaign for yourself.
Virgil, make sure there's a debate for this. Make us the moderators, and you could win this thing.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh, dude,
That's
we'll make
where
it happen.
That's where it's decided. Let's make it happen.
So another interesting thing. This happened Friday, right after we got off the podcast, too. So we didn't get a chance to really talk about it. But college bowl season really doesn't mean much for anybody. Players opt out. Get ready for the NFL draft. I've actually made a point that I think we're eventually going to get into the world where a player is coming back next year. Like, he's coming back, but he doesn't play in the bowl game. I think we're getting to that territory as well. But down in Tuscaloosa, it's not very often that in the postseason, one of their games doesn't matter very much, right? This is the first time since, when was the last time they didn't? Oh, 2019, I guess they didn't make the playoff either. And then Tua was like hurt anyway. So Mac Jones played. So you didn't have like him sitting out of that game. Before that, it was what, 2013, 2014, the last time they played a game that didn't matter for them because it wasn't the national championship game. Well, Alabama, for the first time in quite a while, give or take, again, 2019, they played Michigan in a non-playoff game. They're not in the playoffs, and they're playing a game that really doesn't mean much. They're playing in the Sugar Bowl. It's going to mean a lot to Kansas State.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really mean much to Alabama fans that they're in the Sugar Bowl because it's not a college football playoff. Well, it still means a little something to the team. It seems like at least 2 of the leaders, because Will Anderson and Bryce Young will both play in this game.
Incredibly surprised.
Really, really surprising.
And I think even like when you say it doesn't matter to fans, like I feel like it does matter to fans, but in recent years, it's hard to get excited for a game that isn't the playoff because you expect most of your good players. But like at a school at Alabama that has the most NFL players in the league, you're going to have a lot of guys with draft prospects and futures that they're looking out for. So you expect to see.
You expect it to not care to them.
Yeah,
or for them to not
right. So it's amazing. I think it speaks to how well the culture has been put together by Nick Saban, which is not like that's breaking news. Like everybody already knew that. But to be able to get two guys who could both be the number one pick in the NFL draft to then play in a Sugar Bowl that really you're just playing for the Sugar Bowl trophy and pride and get another win as an Alabama football player. I can't believe that it's happening. And honestly, I think it's a bad idea.
So
I don't want it to happen. I don't want Bryce Young or Will Anderson to play in the game personally as an Alabama fan. Because if they get hurt, it's going to be bad. I mean bad, not only from the media, but just bad for the person that gets hurt. It's going to wreck your draft stock. If you get an ACL or something, you're not playing at all next year. And
no one will ever play a bowl game again.
It's going to cost you a lot of money. It's just, it's going to be nonstop talk, and it's going to hurt any chance of that. I mean, the Matt Corral thing last year, I can't believe that Bryce Young's playing in this game, especially considering Matt Corral played, was it the Sugar Bowl?
I think so. It was a big bowl game.
Played in a bowl game last year, hurt himself, and Ole Miss caught all kinds of flack for it. But look at the culture that Nick Saban has built. It says a lot that these two guys who could absolutely get away with not playing are going to come back and play in this game. It's pretty cool.
And when you go back and look at the high-profile guys that originally started this whole opting out thing, that right there is one of the big reasons you would imagine why they don't want to take the chance of getting hurt in a game that I would imagine their entire team really agreed didn't really mean all that much to them, right? So that's why it's surprising to me. I don't want to sit there and say that they're making a bad decision for playing in the game, because I'm excited to see them play, and I know their fans are excited to see them play one more time. But I really do hope they're careful. I really hope that not only they give effort, because what's the point of playing if you're not going to give the effort, but I also hope that they are conscious enough to not be reckless in the game and cost themselves a ton more money. Now, I know that they can go and once they finally get healthy, they can turn around and make the money, but they've already earned the amount of money that they should make in this NFL draft. And I just don't want to see that cost them at all.
Yeah, I think you got to play your game. I mean, I always heard growing up, if you go out there and you're not playing 100%, that's when you get hurt. Mm-hmm. You know, so I don't think you want to go out there and treat it like the Pro Bowl, because then you're going to end up like that punter that Sean Taylor did that one year. Your head's going to maybe pop off.
Well, there actually is in bowl season an amount that you can play so little, like put up so little effort that it doesn't matter. Have you seen that clip of Florida going around? The Florida defensive end?
the Oregon State Florida game, but they got
Let me show you.
So I would imagine there was probably a lack of effort there somewhere.
Let me show you this Florida defensive end that
if you email me the link to this video real quick, I'll get it up on the podcast.
I didn't plan on playing it, so I don't know if I will be able to find it.
Don't worry about it. Just tell me what.
But it was number 33. I don't know his name, but it was very much like they snapped the ball and he
just kind of
walked up to the offense. The offensive lineman's down here like this, like waiting for him, and he just kind of like, I mean, like walked to him. It was crazy. It was great. He got flamed for it, but it was nuts.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want to see. Like if Bryce Young is going to go out there and anytime he has pressure, he's going to throw it away or something, or if Will Anderson's going to go out there and just kind of.
Here it is.
Oh, wow.
Look at him.
Oh, my goodness. He looked like my mom if you put her in pads and made her a pass rusher.
It's so bad. And it was only 10-0. It was in the second quarter.
Oh, boy. That's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
They got rid of it because of that. So, yeah, not a great look, dude.
Brutal.
Not great.
Offensive lineman was like ready to go. He was ready for the bag of tricks. And then this guy was just, hey, glad you're out here, man. Good job.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Pumped to see Will Anderson and Bryce Young again.
Me too.
Hopefully everybody's cool, because that'd be a real shame.
And it's a more meaningful game than what Florida was playing into. And by the way, Oregon State, I know they shellacked Florida. Florida had a really bad year this year, culture-wise and everything else. But Oregon State was a pretty good football team. That was one of the teams that I'd watched outside of the SEC multiple times this year. They had a very interesting game on like a Thursday or Friday against Washington at one point this year. I watched them come back against Oregon. They were a pretty good football team. They were a very good middle of the road, like top 15 team. that was actually pretty exciting to watch. So Florida actually I would have liked to have seen more effort from Florida to see what that game could have been.
Especially that one.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, obviously you can point to that game not mattering for one team because it really looked like some of those Florida players didn't want to be there. And that's a shame because I liked that matchup originally because that's an SEC team that's at least got talent with a guy with Billy Napier that's recruiting pretty well right now. And Oregon State had a really good year, a team that the last decade has been the one of the walking mats of college football, had a really good year this year. They're a pretty good team.
Do we take the injury possibility too serious? Like now that I'm thinking about it for bowl games, like Matt Corral got hurt last year, but he was fine. He was in training camp. He got hurt again, but I mean, I don't think it was related to the bowl game injury. It was just an injury from playing football. Jamison Williams last year tore his ACL in the national championship game, the latest possible date you could tear it. Guy scores a touchdown last week.
True.
Are we going a little too nuts on the injury thing?
I don't know. Maybe
did I get a little too nuts there?
I mean, think it matters more for the quarterbacks.
The guy was
right?
still drafted first round. Jamison Williams. What was he picked? Like 9th?
Yeah, maybe. ACL tear for the quarterback would be a little worse though, right? Because he doesn't get the.
You figure if for a quarterback it'd be worse. There's no way you're going to take a risk and just throw him out there like in the middle of a year
without all that.
And then think about if you have an Alex Smith type injury. Oh, which quarterback position is probably the one that.
It's going to get that
Joe Theismann, Alex Smith. Like I don't know if I've seen anybody get
Dak Prescott had that with
drastic in the open field, but if you're standing back out there at quarterback, it's more likely to happen. I don't know. I just like we've come so far now. It's like a torn ACL in the national championship game. Jamison Williams, he missed a lot of time, still a first round pick, and now he's factoring into a Lions team that's looking pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it's a little overblown.
Maybe. I'm just glad
they're getting paid too. Bryce Young ain't poor.
So the whole thing about, I'm glad you brought up getting paid because I've heard this a few times with people like, I wonder what the NIL is going to say about him missing that bowl game if he sits out. Like, you don't know what their NIL contracts look like. I don't know what they look like. I would imagine that whether they play or not is part of the deal. And if you have players actively saying, I'm not playing and I'm going to go ahead and forego this bowl game and they're getting paid NIL money, I would imagine that that was something that they previously discussed. You're not going to have someone wanting to pay a player money, but because a lot of these people paying players money are either boosters or business owners, right? That have been around. They know what it's like to advertise and market their money. They're going to think of things like that. There's no way that conversation didn't happen before the NIL.
Yeah, but does the NIL company really think that at that point, a bowl game where your guy has played all year representing your brand, you know how well the season went for that person depending on what bowl game they're in. So, like, if you don't play in a bowl game, is that really a big deal to NIL? I mean, do you ever watch a football game and go, hey, yeah, that's Bryce Young. He represents Chick-fil-A or something. Like, I don't watch a football game like that. It's not going to – the logo is not going to be anywhere on the jersey. It's not like NASCAR. Like, if you miss a race, your sponsors are missing out on visibility the whole time. That's a big deal. I don't think I really watch an NIL game or a football game and think, I don't even know what NILs all these guys have.
I was going to say, I know Bryce Young makes NIL money. I don't know what his brands are. I have no idea.
I don't either.
So I'm sure he's marketing that on like Facebook or on Instagram or wherever he is.
Work's done elsewhere.
Right. Not during the game. So I think you're absolutely right about that. I don't think that's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Like, I bet those NIL people are pretty mad that he's not playing. Like, because I'm just going to use Bryce Young for an example, even though he's playing. Like, but does Bryce Young not playing in this game make you forget who Bryce Young was all of a sudden? Like he didn't win a Heisman Trophy last year. Like he wasn't great all year this year. All of a sudden he didn't play in the last game of the season. You're like, oh, wow. Who was that guy that played for Alabama again? You still know who he is. You still know his brand. And if you follow him on social media, you're not going to unfollow him because he didn't play in the Sugar Bowl, which he still is going to play in the Sugar Bowl.
In the game, he's still getting camera time because they're going to show him. They're going to talk about him on the sideline. It's all still there. I remember the only NIL company and person I'm aware of is was it Bijan Robinson's got Lamborghini?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bo Nix had Milo's Sweet Tea. That's the only thing I ever knew, and I only knew that because I was like,
Bijan also has his own mustard.
That's right. He's got Bijan's Dijon, and he drives a Lambo. I know that. and Bo Nix had some Sweet Tea at one point when he was in Auburn. That's the only thing I know. And them playing changes none of that.
Out of anybody who makes NIL money, you know who I hope makes a killing in NIL? He may not go pro. He's probably going to have his master's before he graduates. Is Cam McCormick, plays for Oregon. he was actually granted 2 more years of eligibility. He's granted a year of eligibility in 23 and in 2024. 23, and if he plays in 2024, that will be his 9th season of college eligibility. 9th season of college eligibility. 2016, he redshirted. In 2017, he was a redshirt freshman. 2018, he had a season-ending injury. In 2019, he missed the season because of an injury. 2020, he got his COVID year, so it was a free year. 2021, he had a season-ending injury. 2022, he was a senior.
Guy's a senior before he ever touched the field.
23 and 24.
He deserves all these years, man.
Granted 2 more years of eligibility. So, and he's had a bunch of injury issues, obviously. And this is another one of those things. Like, people are like, why? These are in the comments. Like, why are we giving this guy more eligibility? He's never going to go pro. He should just give it up. Well, this is what NIL is all about. Like, he's a popular guy. He's a figurehead around there, and he can make a difference for your college team. It doesn't mean he has to go and be a guy in the NFL. He is a figurehead for the students there. People know who he is. He is a positive figure, is what I was trying to think. Not necessarily popular. He is popular, but a positive figure around that guy.
Forget an NIL deal. Give this guy a TV show. Because like, he's not stopping taking classes this whole time. So he probably graduated before he ever played a lick of football, but he's still got at least 2 more years. I want to know what this guy does on campus all day.
There are great TV shows.
What classes are he going? What classes is he going to take for the next 2.5 years? I don't think he needs any.
He legitimately might be getting he could be getting a master's.
Well, I heard when Matt Leinart was at USC, like his last semester, he was done classes. So like he took a dance class, like on Tuesdays, and that was it.
Could you imagine being in dance class with Matt Leinart? I'd go sign up for it.
Matt Leinart, who's already won the Heisman and like natties and all that, and he's about to be in the pros, and yeah, he's in there in your Tuesday dance class with like whoever takes a Tuesday daytime dance class.
Matt Leinart, he was a good guy at USC. Couldn't do the cha-cha worth a flip.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to make it in the pros. His cha-cha was weak.
Hip movement was garbage.
He couldn't Charleston his way out of a wet paper bag.
And speaking of more eligibility, another popular, you actually just mentioned him in his NIL deal a minute ago. Bo Nix announced that he's coming back for his final year of eligibility.
Of course he is.
At Oregon. So
these are the biggest paydays he'll ever get.
Do they play Georgia again? I'm wondering if he's going to lose to Georgia for a 6th time.
What year of eligibility is he at?
Well, he was a true.
He's played for 7 straight years.
He was a true freshman in 19, a sophomore in 2020 that didn't count. So a sophomore again in 21, and then technically a junior this year, a super junior, and then he'll be a senior in 23. So it'll be his 5th year. I'm curious if they lose to Oregon again.
They lose
to Georgia. Oregon football schedule.
I mean, it's going to happen. So just get ready for it. I mean, Bo Nix has played Georgia a total of 14 times in his college career. So it's not for a lack of experience.
Dang, they don't play him next year. They play Portland State, Texas Tech.
He'll do good in that game.
Yeah, well, he'll do real good.
Play good now.
At Texas Tech, Hawaii, and at Arizona State are their first 4 games.
Oof, that's not a great non-conference schedule.
It's a garbage non-conference schedule.
You're going to get hurt in the strength of schedule column for that one.
So better hope you go undefeated. Go undefeated.
Beat USC, man. Caleb Williams is going to have his fingernails painted all.
That's right. He has to come back next year.
He's going to say F Milos. You're going down, Bo.
Robert says, Bo Nix coming back? What the heck? Yeah, dude. I mean, if you're Bo, why not? If Bo entered the draft today, he's not getting drafted above the 5th round.
He's making more money in college than I'm making the pros.
100%.
Yeah, why not? If you get hurt, whatever.
I think I know what the answer is going to be. It's probably not as good of a question as it was when I originally thought it 2 seconds ago, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you were taking a chance on a quarterback in the NFL, which one would you rather take a chance on in like a 6th-round pick? If you had a 6th-round pick to burn on one of these 2 guys, you taking Bo Nix or Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett.
I thought the overwhelming answer was going to be Bo Nix. We go, well, he can run, he can move. I honestly think I'd go with Stetson too. He's proven that you put a good team around him, he won't cost you a game.
Bo Nix gets by with his athleticism and stuff that you can get by on in college. He does not get by on his ability to read defenses and throw the ball and do all that, which, I mean, if you look at Chicago, you look at a guy like Justin Fields, it's like, what's he doing out there? Is he out there throwing the ball around, or is he running real well and making the rest of his team better as a result? Yeah, sure, but I don't know. Stetson Bennett, it's not like he's had great receivers around him. I mean, Brock Bowers he's got 2 tight ends that are absolute monsters in there, but
hey, Latin McConkey's not bad.
He's got a guy like, they're all right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
So with
I got 2 guys who I don't love, but Stetson Bennett, at least, he's won big games. He's had to be the guy to go out there and make big plays. He's mobile as well, too. I mean, he looks like a goof, so you don't think about him as being mobile or athletic, but he really is.
He's also proved that he won't, like in 2020, he may have cost them a couple of times, like when they were in that game against Alabama, threw a couple picks in the regular season and stuff. But as he's gotten, the years have gone by, 21, he proved that he can go in there with a really great football team, get things done and not cost you a football game. And then this year, not only has he not cost them football games, he's made some stuff happen for him as well. So if you go in like the 6th round and as a backup quarterback and you have to go in, you got picked up by a good team like Denver or something, like a good defense and stuff around you, you can go in there and not cost them a football game.
That's a great point. As a backup, who do you want coming in there to man the ship and keep you going?
I'd take Stetson all day.
Bo Nix or Stetson Bennett?
I'd take Stetson Bennett all day in that situation.
Yeah.
So
you want Bo Nix as a backup if your starting quarterback is Matt Ryan. And you're just like, look, how much worse can it get?
I'm glad you brought him up because we only have a few minutes left, and we forgot to talk about that game on Saturday.
That poor guy is going to be remembered for 2 football games. That man won an MVP. He's played for like 16 years. He's going to be remembered for 2 games.
It was 33-0 in this game. You know how many teams have come back from being down 33 points before Saturday?
0.
That's right. A big goose egg. 0. That's how many points that the Vikings had at one point in that game, while the Colts had 33 of them. And the Vikings were able to come back, force overtime by scoring 36 points. They outscored the Colts 36-3 the rest of regulation, forces overtime. And then I believe with 0 seconds remaining, like the last play of overtime, took the whole 10 minutes because why the heck not? They kicked the game-winning field goal to complete the largest comeback in NFL history. So Matt Ryan has now been a part of the biggest Super Bowl collapse of all time, 28-3 to Tom Brady. And it's not like in that situation, we did make fun of Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan and the Falcons for that. But in the same vein, half of that was taken away because we're like, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Only Tom Brady could do this.
That's right.
But then when you blow a 33-point lead to Kirk Cousins, who's not Tom Brady.
Adam Thielen's yelling at him on the sideline at one point, like, what are you doing? I couldn't read his lips, but it looked like he's going, you're horrible. Are you blind? What are you doing? That man scored 36 points in 1 half.
So,
while the other team knew that he had to score 36
you called
points.
it preseason. The other team knew. You called it preseason. You said Matt Ryan is washed, and man, you were right.
Said he was last year too. He ain't got it, man. His arm's a noodle. And even when he's up 33, it's not even Matt Ryan's fault at that point. It's
right.
like,
it just happens to be the quarterback.
Team, what are you doing as play callers, as anything? Like, how do you just allow that timing-wise to even be possible to score that many points, man, and not do anything?
And I know some other things went right for the Colts too earlier. They blocked a punt for a touchdown or something too, so that helped. But like when you score 33 points in a half, it's not like I don't see how scoring all of a sudden becomes tough because, like, yeah, defenses can make adjustments, but I mean, just do what you were doing when you scored 33 points. Like, you put up a lot of points.
I hate when teams get conservative when they have leads because I feel like it blows up in their face every time. You see it in football, especially in college football. Whenever there's a favorite, like number 1 Ohio State versus Northwestern, and say Northwestern's got a lead all game going into the 4th, they're up 2 touchdowns, then they get scared and they hand it off and there's like 11 minutes left, so you're calling plays that have no chance of succeeding just because you want to burn an extra minute and a half. It's like that team's going to take advantage of that, dude. Just play the game you were playing before when you led for 75% of this thing. Same thing for the Colts. Like, How do you let that happen?
Yeah, I hear you. But Ricky, we're not going to do that. We're just
Watch this.
So that was the other NFL game I was trying to think of when I was trying to think of other like notable things that happened this weekend. 33-point comeback. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings were able to get that done against the Indianapolis Colts. And then another storyline that I'm just really, really proud of and really, really enjoying. How about Dan Campbell and the Lions, man?
Man,
7-7. They're 500. They won one or two games last year. Good for them, man. Watching his opening press conference was laughable, and I thought, man, this guy's a quack and a joke. He's not going to do anything. Then I watched Hard Knocks this summer, and I told you when we were doing the radio show, you and Clint both, I was like, I'm completely turning around on Dan Campbell. This guy's awesome. He knows how to reach his players, and he actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to football and things. I didn't predict they would actually come together, but I started hoping and thinking that, like, he does know what he's talking about, and I hope they start coming together for him. And they have. They're 7-7.
the dude.
That 100%.
The dude's about to find a way into the playoffs with the Detroit Lions.
The dude abides, baby. Let's go.
I don't know who's benefited more, Dan Campbell as a head coach or Matt Patricia, being that he was the head coach in Detroit before and absolutely stunk. And then Dan Campbell comes in. Remember, I was not high on Dan Campbell. I was like,
wasn't
this
either.
guy's not going to be smart enough for, like, he's not going to be like a Bill Belichick who knows what to do in the right moments, like run a lateral play when you're tied and throw the ball 25 yards backwards to lose the game on the last play of regulation. He's not smart enough to be in the same class as that guy. Meanwhile, he's turning Jared Goff into a franchise quarterback. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god, is a top-notch wide receiver in the league. Jamal Williams leads the league in touchdowns. DeAndre Swift's back there. Justin Jackson. They got a three-headed monster in the backfield. You got guys like who else? They're handing the ball off to Khalif Raymond.
Oh, we're still going offense. I thought we were switching to the other side of the ball. Aiden Hutchinson having a good rookie year.
Hutchinson's killing it. The defense is playing well. Panay Sewell caught a pass last week to ice a game. Like, man, touche. Detroit line. Hey, man, we're just going to go out there. We're going to eat kneecaps. Man. We just got He did it. He did it, man.
It's awesome to see, man. It really, really is. So
I hope they get into the playoffs. I mean, they can play with anybody.
Yeah, they can. And the exact opposite of a good job is whatever's going on in the NFC South. Whatever's going on in that division.
Nobody wants to win it. What do the standings look like that?
The 4-8 or the 4-win Saints yesterday won a game, and they were like, well, they're right back in playoff contention. Like,
at what, 5-9?
Yeah, at 5-9. Like, what are we doing here? Saints are 5-9, and they're firmly in playoff contention because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead that division at a whopping 6-8.
The Panthers have no quarterback. The Saints have a tight end who plays quarterback. The Falcons just started a rookie quarterback, and the Buccaneers have the greatest quarterback of all time. And none of those teams have more than 6 wins.
The Saints, the only reason that this entire division is not on a current losing streak right now is because the Saints played a team in their own division yesterday. But look at that. The Falcons have lost 3 in a row. The Panthers lost yesterday, and the Bucs have lost 2 in a row. It's just
I told
awful.
you about the Bucs, though. You can't let your offensive line leave in the offseason and have a 45-year-old quarterback and expect things to go well.
Yeah.
Their preseason win total over-under was 11.5.
And then possibly the worst take that you and I have ever had. I'm just going to go ahead and skip over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, we look like a couple of idiots.
What a bunch of losers.
Jalen Hurts is going to walk away
with the
MVP. I believe at one point I said, why would you put money on Jalen Hurts to win the MVP? Jalen Hurts? What? Now, granted, I was fighting for Tua, who's probably going to finish top 5. But, man, my apologies, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
To you, your family, other people named Jalen, anyone who's ever been hurt, the species of Eagles, the city of Philadelphia, the cast of the movie Philadelphia. I apologize to all of you.
Cream cheese?
People who work at the Philadelphia cream cheese plant, people who love cream cheese, people who are lactose intolerant, people who are intolerant to other people. I apologize to all of you.
If you've ever in your life, if you're one person that's ever had a Philly cheesesteak, I apologize.
If you like thinly cut meats, if you like meats with a spork, if you have silverware that also includes sporks, I apologize. I was wrong.
I
But
echo
Micah
the same thing.
Parsons said the same thing, and it was only like a week ago. And now they play this upcoming week.
That's
and Jalen
right.
Hurts is going to punish that team.
That's
The
right.
man can't lose. He's one of those people. You've probably met someone in your life. You're just like, dude, how does everything go right for that guy? Like, how does he always get it done? How does he always end up successful? How does that happen? Jalen Hurts is one of those guys. I mean, he was emasculated at Alabama. He loses his job. He sits on the bench. He wins a game in the SEC championship. Huge redemption story. You can't keep the guy down. NFL second round pick. Carson Wentz is the guy. He gets in there. Whatever. Michael Parsons is about to learn a lesson the hard way.
Went to Oklahoma, finished second in the Heisman, got drafted in the second round of the NFL draft. And I just thought that he wasn't there yet, man. I thought that he still had like a lot to develop in the way of the passing game, because I watched him in the last year. I watched him a lot more, and he looked like he was a guy that got a lot of his good numbers and stats in garbage time, because when the snaps that matter the most last year, this isn't an opinion that was just formed out of looking at a box score. I watched a lot of Jalen Hurts last year, and it just didn't look like he got it. You know what I mean? And then
that playoff game against Tampa Bay to end the year, really, for me, I was like, man, I mean, they got beat like 30-something to 10. And I think the 10 they scored were all in garbage time. It was like 30-0 at one point. And it's like, that guy can't win big games in the playoffs like that. Never.
And then he took a gigantic step this year. And yeah, Micah Parsons is half right. They have a great team. And that is something I told you and Clint both. We agreed on that. I mean, we didn't say that Philly wouldn't be a playoff team or anything. Like, we thought they'd win 9-10 games. Just we didn't think that they would be a legit contender, because we thought Hurts had a lot of room to improve. Well, it's not just him getting carried by a really good team. He's helping carry that really,
That's
really good
the one
football
thing
team.
about him, too, that he's always been consistent with. Even in college, every year he was a better player than he was the previous year. When he started off at Alabama, he had the run game. He had the first option on a pass play, and that was it. The first option was empty. He's running left. He's going to throw the ball away, or he's just going to run and try to get what he could. And the next year, a little better. Next year, a little better, but Tua takes his job. Then he goes to Oklahoma, and I thought for sure, I'm like, the guy can't throw the ball. It's not going to work. Almost wins the Heisman. Goes to the pros, me and you. Hey, you got away with it in college. It's not going to work. The guy's probably going to win the MVP. Every year, he gets better and better. He's a true pro.
So happy for him, man. Really, really am happy for him, because that never came from a place from either one of us, because he did a lot of great things for both of our favorite colleges, college football teams. It never, ever came from a place of we don't like Jalen Hurts. It came from a place of brutal honesty. We were like,
Yeah.
I want Jalen to be successful in the NFL. I want to find a reason to think he will be. I just didn't think it was there, and I was completely wrong, and I'm so happy for him. This is one of the times I love being wrong, because Jalen Hurts has proven the reason why you want to pull for him is because he's just a great dude, and he's a great leader to those guys in the locker room, and he is an awesome person. So I'm very happy to be wrong in this situation.
I would have liked to have been a little less wrong. You know, don't have to win
Like
the
maybe,
MVP.
yeah.
You know, maybe comeback player of the year. Start off, win the MVP next year.
Maybe a playoff game.
Whatever. Yeah, would have liked to have been a little less wrong. And there's all those people too that like Micah Parsons, system quarterback. Hey, if you put those parts around any quarterback, you'd be good. But it's like the Phil Jackson quote. It's like, hey, yeah, I had a lot of superstars and I won a lot of championships. Go coach a team with no superstars. Tell me how good you're going to do. You need good players to win games.
That's right.
Bar none, man.
And in our defense, opposite of Michael Parsons, at least we said it preseason. Like, at least we said it when his last game was that awful playoff game that he played. We didn't say it in the middle of an MVP campaign like Michael Parsons did.
Yeah, that was a poor move.
Now they play next week.
I don't think that's going to go well for him.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this Monday. We went just a tad long, but we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a great Christmas. I know some of you at the work weeks and work schedules are a little different this time of year. So we won't be doing one on Friday because I know I'm out.
I'll be out too.
Yeah. So no show on Friday. I'll be here Wednesday. You here Wednesday?
I'm here Wednesday.
We'll do one Wednesday. It'll be the last one before Christmas. Join us again 2 to 3. Christmas light shows open from tonight 5 to 9, and we'll be open until January 2nd. The Winter Wonderland inside. is open as well until Christmas Eve. I am working Wednesday and on Christmas Eve, so come join me and say hello. I don't know if you're working this week or not.
No, I'm done, man. I did my time in the Globe.
Nice.
I'm a free man.
You put in 2 big days on Friday and Saturday. So in the meantime, until we're back on Wednesday, I'm Tony Mack. That's Tricky Ricky. Follow us on Twitter at Tricky Ricky RCTP, at Tony Trash Panda. We'll see you Wednesday. It's been the Bullpen.